Oh, wait, tell me. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying, like, you don't know our business, right? You don't know our life.
Yes, I do.
Does she know our life?
This conversation has nothing to do with me.
It has everything, because if my friend was calling you a cheater, I'd check my friend.
Oh, well, she's not gonna check her friend, okay? That's not what we're doing.
Bambi, can I talk to her real quick?
Again, you just summoned me to the conversation. Everybody out here is cheaters, okay? And I'm just trying to blend in with the cheaters.
Before we begin, I want to say something from the heart. If you enjoy stories like this, please support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps this channel grow, and it tells me you want more deep, emotional, and easy-to-understand breakdowns like this. Now imagine this. You are sitting across from someone you know. Maybe not your best friend, but someone who has been around your circle for years. You think the conversation will be normal. Maybe a little drama, maybe a little gossip, maybe just another reality TV moment. But then, suddenly, that person looks you in the eyes and says something that changes the whole room. Not a joke, not a rumor, not a small misunderstanding, but something about your husband. Something so serious that your heart almost stops. That is the kind of moment Yandy Smith Harris found herself facing when Bambi decided she could not stay quiet anymore. And this was not just another love and hip-hop Atlanta argument. This was not just shouting, side eyes, and someone storming out of the room. This felt bigger, heavier, more personal. Because when the truth, or even the possibility of truth, walks into a marriage, everything changes. Yandy has always been seen as a strong woman, a woman who handles pressure, a woman who protects her family, her image, and her peace. She is not someone who breaks easily. For years, people have watched her stand beside Mendeecees through difficult times, public pressure, family problems, legal troubles, and the kind of drama most people would run away from. She became known as the woman who stays strong, the woman who keeps it together, the woman who fixes things. But this time, the problem was not outside the house. This time, the problem may have been inside the marriage. And according to Bambi, there were things Yandy did not know. The conversation started with tension in the air. Bambi was not yelling. She was not acting wild. She was calm, and sometimes calm is scarier than anger. Because when someone is calm, it can mean they came prepared. Yandy walked in with her usual confidence, the boss energy, the controlled face, the I can handle anything attitude. But then Bambi asked the question that changed everything. Do you really know what your husband is doing when you are not around? That one question landed like a stone dropped into still water. At first, Yandy did what many people would do. She became defensive. Because when someone questions your marriage, your first instinct is to protect it, especially when you have built your whole life around loyalty. But Bambi did not stop. She began explaining that this was not just random gossip. She claimed there were names, dates, places, and conversations. She suggested that what Yandy believed about Mendeecees might not be the full story. And that is where things became painful. Because betrayal is not always just about what someone did. Sometimes the deepest pain comes from realizing you may have been the last person to know. Yandy's face began to change. At first there was confusion, then shock, then silence. And silence can speak louder than screaming. Bambi claimed that Mendeecees had been moving in spaces Yandy thought he had left behind. She claimed there were connections and situations that did not match the image Yandy had been defending for years. Now, let's be clear. These are allegations from the drama being discussed. But in that moment, the power of Bambi's words came from how specific they sounded. She was not saying, "I heard something." She was saying, "Here is what I know." And that difference matters. Yandy listened as Bambi described things that seemed to connect with real moments in her memory. Trips, meetings, business moves, times when Yandy thought one thing was happening, but Bambi was suggesting something very different. That is when the emotional weight became impossible to ignore. Because Yandy was not just hearing a story about her husband. She was being forced to replay her own life in her head. Every late night, every strange excuse, every moment she ignored because she trusted him, every little red flag she may have pushed away because love told her to. And that is something many people understand. Sometimes when we love someone deeply, we do not want to see the signs, not because we are weak, but because we are hopeful. We want to believe the person we chose is the person they promised to be. But hope can hurt when the truth starts knocking. Then came the biggest question. Why now? Yandy wanted to know why Bambi had waited. If she knew something, why did she stay quiet? Why sit near her, speak to her, smile at events and say nothing? That question is important. Because in reality TV, timing is everything. Was Bambi truly trying to help? Was she protecting Yandy from being embarrassed by the blogs? Or was she bringing this information forward because cameras were rolling? That is the part viewers will debate. Some people will say Bambi was being real, a woman telling another woman what she deserves to know. Others will say the timing was messy, that if you care about someone, you do not expose their pain in front of the world. But no matter what side you choose, one thing is clear. The damage was already done. Then Bambi reached for her phone. And everybody knows what that means on reality TV. Receipts. The room shifted again. Yandy's body language changed. She looked like someone preparing for bad news but still praying it would not be true. Bambi showed what she claimed were digital clues, messages, details, possible proof that challenged what Mendeecees had told Yandy. And that is when this stopped feeling like a rumor and started feeling like a case. Yandy was no longer just a wife listening to gossip. She became a woman trying to solve a mystery inside her own marriage. That is a painful place to be. Because marriage is supposed to be a home, not a courtroom. Your partner is supposed to be your safe place, not someone you have to investigate. But according to the story unfolding, Yandy was now holding information that made her question everything. Bambi also claimed other people knew, and that part may have hurt even more. Because personal betrayal is already heavy. But public embarrassment, that cuts differently. To think that people around you may have known something about your own life before you did, that can make a person feel small, even if they are strong. Yandy has always carried herself with pride. She is not just a wife. She is a businesswoman, a mother, and a public figure. So the idea that people may have been whispering behind her back was not just heartbreaking. It was humiliating. And slowly, the shock turned into anger. But not loud anger. Cold anger. The kind of anger that does not scream because it is too busy thinking. Yandy stood up. She paced. She tried to connect the dots. You could almost see her mind going through every memory, trying to find the missing piece. And Bambi kept going. She pushed Yandy to stop ignoring what was in front of her. She told her to look deeper, to check things, to stop accepting the comfortable answer just because it hurt less. And that is where the story became bigger than just Yandy and Mendeecees. It became a story about trust, about how much one person can forgive, about how long love can survive when doubt enters the room. Because once doubt arrives, it does not leave easily. It sits at the dinner table. It rides in the car. It sleeps beside you. It turns every phone notification into a question. And that is what Yandy was facing. After leaving Bambi, Yandy did not look like a woman going home for a normal talk. She looked like a woman going home for answers. When she arrived, the energy was different. The house did not feel peaceful. It felt like a courtroom. Mendeecees could sense something was wrong before she even said much. Yandy did not start softly. She came with the phone. She came with questions. She came with the kind of look that says, "Do not lie to me." Mendeecees, according to the drama, first tried to deny it. He questioned Bambi's motives. He suggested she was messy, bitter, or trying to create a storyline. And honestly, that is a common move when someone is cornered. Attack the messenger. Shift the focus. Make the conversation about why the truth came out instead of whether the truth is real. But Yandy was not easily moved this time, because Bambi had given details. And details are hard to fight. A vague rumor can be brushed off. A random accusation can be ignored. But dates, locations, names, and messages, those require answers. Yandy asked him directly whether it was worth it. Was the secret worth risking the family? Was the lie worth breaking the trust? Was the outside attention worth destroying the woman who stood beside him when life was at its hardest? That question is powerful because it is not only about cheating or secrets. It is about value. When someone betrays you, one of the first things you wonder is, did I mean that little to you? And that is what made this moment so emotional. Yandy had sacrificed. She had waited. She had defended. She had built a life with this man. So if the allegations were true, then the betrayal was not just romantic. It was spiritual. It was emotional. It was public. It was personal. And it hit the entire image they had built together. Meanwhile, the news began moving through the Atlanta circle. And in that world, secrets do not stay secrets for long. People started reacting. Some defended Bambi. Some questioned her timing. Some felt sorry for Yandy. Others wondered what Mendeecees would say next. The cast became divided. And that is what reality TV does best. It turns private pain into public debate. But behind all the opinions, one woman was left sitting with the hardest question. What now? Does Yandy forgive? Does she walk away? Does she protect the family image? Or does she choose herself, even if that choice breaks everything people thought they knew? That is why this story connects with viewers, because behind the celebrity names and cameras, the feeling is real. Many people know what it feels like to trust someone and then wonder if they were wrong. Many people know what it feels like to defend someone in public, only to cry about them in private. Many people know what it feels like to hold a relationship together while slowly falling apart inside. And that is why this moment feels so big. It is not just drama. It is a mirror showing how love can become complicated when loyalty is not returned with honesty. As the fallout continues, Bambi stands by her decision. She does not seem sorry for speaking up. In her mind, she did what needed to be done. Whether people agree or not, she believes Yandy deserved to know. Mendeecees now faces the hard work of proving who he really is, not through speeches, not through excuses, but through truth. Because once trust is broken, words become cheap. Only actions matter. And Yandy is left with the heaviest job of all. She must decide whether the love she fought for is still worth fighting for. That is not an easy choice, because leaving hurts, but staying can hurt too. And sometimes the strongest woman in the room is not the one who keeps smiling. Sometimes the strongest woman is the one who finally says, "I deserve the truth." So where does this leave the Harris family? Right now, everything feels uncertain. The image of the perfect power couple has been shaken. The circle has been exposed. The whispers have turned into open conversation, and the audience is watching closely to see what happens next. Can Yandy and Mendeecees rebuild? Maybe. But rebuilding trust is not like fixing a broken glass. You cannot just glue it together and pretend the cracks are not there. Trust takes time. It takes honesty. It takes accountability. And most importantly, it takes a person being willing to change, not just being sorry they got caught. And that brings us to the real question. Was Bambi wrong for telling Yandy? Or was she the only person brave enough to say what others were whispering? That depends on how you look at it. If her heart was in the right place, then maybe she saved Yandy from deeper embarrassment. But if the timing was for cameras, then maybe she turned another woman's pain into entertainment. Either way, the truth is out now. And once truth walks into the room, nobody leaves the same. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Bambi was being a real friend, or do you think she crossed the line? Do you think Yandy should forgive Mendeecees if the allegations are true? Or is this the moment she should finally choose peace over loyalty? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this situation is not simple. And before you go, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next update. We are going to keep following this story, breaking it down in a way that is clear, emotional, and real. Because in the world of love and hip-hop Atlanta, one secret can change everything. And this one may have changed the Harris family forever.